This one's how to speak British. This is something I really need to learn. Let's see how quickly I can learn how to speak British.
I told you those savages couldn't be trusted.
Oscar Wilde famously described Britain and the US as two nations divided by a common language. Now, there are many different words that Britain uses that Americans don't. For example, fortnight, caravan, petrol, and so on. But there are also many phrases and idioms that are common in the UK that are unheard of in the US. And here are some of my favorites. Hi, I'm Siobhan Thompson, and this is Anglophenia. Now, if I were to say to you, Brian used to know his onions, but then he lost the plot, he made a right royal cock-up, and now he's living at Her Majesty's pleasure.
Oh, wow.
If you're he lost the Anglophenia. Now, if I were to say to you, Brian used to know his onions, but then he lost the plot, he made a right royal cock-up, and now he's living at Her Majesty's pleasure. If you're American, this might not make the blindest bit of sense to you, but all of these phrases are used pretty ubiquitously in the UK. Enough that when I first used them in the States, I was shocked when people had no idea what I was talking about. So here are some pretty common examples of British phrases. The etymology of them is a little bit hazy since they are colloquialisms, but when they are known, I will tell you. Away with the fairies. This means that somebody is daydreaming or is sort of out of touch with reality. It doesn't actually mean that they have run away with actual fairies. Fairies don't exist. Sorry, Tinkerbell. So, as an example, oh my goodness, sorry, I was away with the fairies. Or, oh, don't mind Daisy, she's away with the fairies. It does come from all of those terrifying stories about children being kidnapped by fairies, but it also indicates somebody who kind of lives in their own fantastical imagination. The closest in American English is probably Space Cadet, but it's not exactly the same. Swings and roundabouts. This means that everything evens out in the end, sort of like 6 of one and half a dozen of the other. So swings and roundabouts always end up in the same place eventually, so you don't have to worry about where they are right now. The Manhattan Bridge is closer than the Brooklyn Bridge, but there's more traffic, so it's swings and roundabouts, really. This phrase probably came about at the end of the 19th century when fairgrounds became widespread throughout Britain. Horses for courses. This means that different people are good at different things, just like some horses are better at racing and some at jumping. You have to pick the right horse for the right course. So why wasn't George Clooney cast as Harry Potter? Well, it's horses for courses, isn't it?
I don't think I've ever heard of any of these.
The dawn chorus. This refers to the swell of birdsong that happens right as the sun comes up. As in, I was trying to lie in this morning, but I got woken up by the dawn chorus. All of you city dwellers might not know that this is a thing. It is. Also, did you know that there are birds that aren't pigeons? Yeah, true story. Bob's your uncle. This is a way
I think I've heard that one.
of saying, and there we go, or and right away. It indicates that something is done very quickly and efficiently. So, throw a tea bag in a cup, pour on some boiling water, and Bob's your uncle, a cup of tea. Sometimes people lengthen this to things like, and Robert's your mother's brother, or and Robert is your father's closest male relative. Seriously, this is the thing that people do. Chinwag. This means gossiping and chatting. Having a nice chinwag is just having a little catch-up with your friends. So
Makes
I'm
sense.
just going to go put the kettle on, and then we'll have a nice chinwag about that George Clooney being cast as Harry Potter. Donkey's years. This means a really long time, like, I haven't seen you in donkey's years. The closest American equivalent to this is probably, I haven't seen you in an age. This comes from two different roots. Firstly, the Cockney rhyming slang for years is donkey's ears, and secondly, donkeys live for a really long time. Yeah, we're learning a lot of things today, huh? To have a butcher's. This means to have a look at. Oh, you got engaged, let's have a butcher's of that ring then. It's another one that
Have a butcher's.
comes from Cockney rhyming slang, butcher's hook meaning look, and it spread around the country after the advent of radio and television. If you watch the show Call the Midwife, you will hear it said about 800 times every episode. It's monkeys. This means it's very cold. It comes from nautical slang. It's cold enough to freeze the balls off a brass monkey, meaning cannonballs, not the balls that you were thinking about. The brass monkey was the name of the stand. If it got too cold, the metal would warp and all of the cannonballs would roll off. Of course, this never happened in Britain, where it is a rainy 12 degrees centigrade every day of the year. Up the wooden hill to Bedfordshire. This means to go to bed. Just think about it for a second. Got it? Good. Up the duff
Wait a minute.
means to go to bed. Of the year. Up the wooden hill to Bedfordshire. This means
Oh.
to go to bed. Just think about it for a second.
Okay. Took a second.
Got it? Good. Up the duff. This is kind of a funny way to say that somebody's pregnant. It probably comes from about the same place as having a bun in the oven. Plum duff is another name for Christmas pudding. Nurse, I think I'm up the duff. Come and have a butcher's. God, wake up. What are you, away with the fairies? Oh, it's monkeys in here. Can't you turn the heating up? So, there we go. Do you have a favourite British phrase? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe and watch some of our other videos.
That was awesome. That, I swear to God, that sounded like it's, I don't know, they're all strange to me right now, but I'm sure I'll get used to them. I like this girl, I'm telling you. This girl's awesome. All right, guys, I'm out.